Joining us for Newsline proper. Another Nigerian has achieved outstanding record in skipping. This time, 16-year-old Philip Solomon from Ondo State has been declared the Guinness World Records holder in most skips in 30 seconds on one leg. His accomplishment has increased Nigeria's rope skipping feat in the Guinness World Records to 2. Tony Batire has details.
In February this year, Benga Ezekiel, a 16-year-old senior secondary school student of Ijakpo High School, Akure, was declared Guinness World Records holder for making 265 skips on one leg in 1 minute. A couple of months later, another student also from a public secondary school in Akure, Oyemekun Grammar School, 17-year-old Philip Solomon, has broken the record of Ezekiel of Ijakpo High School with most skips of 154, also on one leg in 30 seconds.
Start.
My coach do show us a lot of world records that do happen. So there was a day that I was just training on my own, and my coach came to me and told me that, Philip, you can break this record, that I should give it a try. So since then I've been training, and at last I broke it.
The Guinness World Records has not only brought honor to Philip Solomon and his family, but also his school.
He has been practicing it, and everybody know him for that. So when he went for the competition, we are not surprised because he has been on it for many days and many months.
Philip is a guy that is very serious in anything he's doing, and but when he has this courageous spirit in him.
Newsline had interactions with Solomon's two coaches.
The boy did wonderfully by skipping 5.1 skips in 1 second. That is hypersonic speed.
This makes it the second within 6 months that we are getting confirmation from Guinness World Record. Our athletes surpassing previous achievements of other athletes around the world.
Ondo State government, however, says it will continue to showcase more raw talent that abound in the state.
Roast TV is evolving in Ondo State. It's a new sport, and Ondo State is very committed to it, especially now that it's giving us recognition, international recognition. We have no choice than to make road skipping as one of the catchment area, and Ondo State is going to ensure that we try our best to make sure that road skipping is captured as one of the accredited sports for National Sport Festival.
A great achievement for Philip, for Ondo State and Nigeria as well. Now, it is rare to hear people, particularly younger generation, admit that they can speak their native tongue because their parents hardly take them to their hometowns. It's the case we see all the time. Some don't even have much knowledge about their own state. So when Annie Daniels came across a young commercial bus driver in Lagos with an inscription on his bus proudly stating his place of origin, she decided to probe further and help us appreciate inscriptions on vehicles. Let's hear from Annie.
Oshodi, can you talk about Lagos without mentioning it? Not at all. Same for the very popular commercial buses referred to in local parlance as the Danfo and Korope buses. They have one thing in common: inscriptions.
Now this one now, God is good. Then God has the best. That person want to showcase himself that he's maybe he doesn't have anything in mind, that he loves God.
Our God is too much. What he's doing daily is anybody can see a sign of it. You can identify it that this is the work of God.
Some of us will be down for people. We call us touts, but we are not touts. It's because of behaviors, and you know, go use because of one person call others touts. So that is why I write this holy guy.
So different from others.
Yes, I'm different from others.
They are right. The Danfo and Korokwe bus owners used the inscriptions to tell stories that touch the heart.
It means that if you don't hustle, you're not going to get the money.
Isn't that a good decision? Sure it is. And still on self-actualization, these buses don't just transport passengers from one place to another. They also spark interests in other parts of the country. One of such, boldly written, is this inscription, Osogbo, a town in Osun State.
I be Osogbo boy for Isale Osun Osogbo. Na my area go na Osogbo. Na DGG for Osogbo. Any people know me say I dey write this thing Osogbo. Then go come meet me say Osogbo. We started for Osogbo. I tell them say na Isale Osun. This one hey na Egbon na Isale.
Isn't that heartwarming? Proudly telling people about his nativity. His name is Omodagunro.
But me, I did lawyer for our master. I did write this song for Olaoga. Meaning for I dey hail my master. People they give me something to chop. I had a hailer. But all this one now. Sometimes people they wait here happen so it's okay now. So talk now. That's why I like this one. This one of my family money. Whole family. And the family gather money to buy money for me. You know the issue.
Other thought-provoking inscriptions exist.
Tell us what this is, what they mean.
We go dollar, money, dollar. If you want to enter the Danfo now without money, you can't enter. You need to go. If you get dollar, you give them dollar too, they will take it from you. That's why they say, ego, you can't enter without paying.
Now you know and understand the idea behind inscriptions on some vehicles.
Interesting. Now to the environment, especially as we mark World Environment Day on the 5th of June. It is written in one of the holy books. Okay, the environment story is not coming next. There's a story before it, maybe because I'm an environmentalist, so my mind is already in the environment. Now, it is written in one of the holy books that, on average, the number of years one is expected to live on Earth is 70 years. Those who live above this age are often considered strong. In the light of this, Amaka Owo, on reportorial duty in Lagos, got amazed at the sight of some septuagenarians, and her interaction with these senior citizens revealed what makes them wax stronger despite their age.
There was assigned recently to cover an annual general meeting, and what caught my attention was the number of elderly persons who turned up for the event, their excitement and composure. I inquired from some of these persons who have attained age 70 and above and arrived on time to the event to showcase time discipline. Their response was retired but not tired.
I'm over 70. I'll be 76 by exactly 3rd of November 2023.
Timothy Adeshinyon is 79 years old. He said he attended the AGM because of investments made in his younger days, which has paid off.
I can feed myself and I have sufficient investments which feeds me.
With Madam Owolabi and others who are above age 70 and still look hale and hearty, they oblige us some life tips to living peacefully.
I will be 73 now. I'm healthy. I work always.
In my spirit, I play and I do work. I'm the one cleaning my compound. I clean my compound of a full plot.
Cut your coat according to your size. That is my belief in life. I don't normally look at it. Yes, this is my friend. It's at this stage. You don't know how it got to that stage. And you shouldn't follow it. Plan your life according to what you have.
They also had advice for some youths who are desperate to swim with the tide of get-rich syndrome.
Today, people are not ready to struggle. They are not ready to struggle. A boy of 20 years wants to ride a limousine car. You don't start it just one day.
They are looking for ritual money, and it's not like that. If you want to have long life, you have to be patient.
If you are cheating, you are not truthful. You are not truthful. So you have to take what belongs to you. You don't have to cheat people to make wealth. No. You have to be honest. You have to be sincere in whatever you are doing.
For some of these septuagenarians, they say they have enjoyed good health over the years. Spiritual factor, they say, also played a significant role.
They should try and be nearer God. Be you a Muslim, be you a Christian, the teachings of the Bible and the Quran is enough to make someone live a good life if you follow the doctrines.
Despite figures from the United Nations that life expectancy in Nigeria as of 2019 is age 55, data from Statista in 2021 shows that the percentage of Nigerians that are aged 65 and above is put at 2.98%. Going by this data, many do not live till age 70, which is part of the uncertainties of life. The message of these elderly serves as food for thought that steady planning and contentment are the key to a successful life.
Vital tips for longevity. And importantly, a clean and healthy environment can also make us live long. Now, highlighting stories of Nigerians who are quietly addressing issues affecting lives, communities, and ecosystems is important. People who have created initiatives through conviction that making a difference starts with them. Such Nigerians are classic examples of unsung heroes. Lanre Gbeleyi has a story on a young lady in Lagos towing this path.
There is something about someone personally taking on an initiative to address societal environmental issues that commands respect. I found one of such projects at the Elegushi Beach in Lagos. Doyisola Ogoye has been ensuring plastics on the beach and the ones pushed ashore by the ocean, including plastic waste in the neighborhood, are cleared. It's been a decade now since Doyin Oguye started the environmental protection project with her crew. They don't just pick up plastics, but send them to recycling plants.
This is something we do over and over again. Thankfully, I have a workforce that is equally as passionate as me, and every day we wake up convincing one company or the other, convincing schools to start to put their plastics aside.
Everything being used inside the city, nylon bags, plastics are being thrown inside the gutter. This thing thrown inside the gutter will find their way into some lagoons, from lagoons into the sea. And the sea, being what it is, managed to put some out. And these are plastics that you are seeing, this mound that you are seeing. They are being picked from the seashore by Doyin. And it's not only plastics, we have bottles, bags, shoes, all kinds of things. And amongst them is this. It's called a styrofoam.
Styrofoam is one of the worst kind of plastics that are affecting not just human life but also animal life as well. And I feel we should put a ban on it. The thing about styrofoam, it can't easily be recycled. Apart from that, it starts to break down into very tiny pieces and it gets into the animals, the aquatic animals. Unlike me and you, we can spit out things we don't like, but the animals can't. They just see anything that looks like food and they eat it. And guess what? We eat these animals as well, so it's getting into our own bloodstream.
The recycling aspect of the project provides a means of livelihood for the volunteers.
That sack, as that one day, that one be the measurements. So once that one don't full, they go scale am. We don't reach, they go come out. So we go start work on Monday, they go pay money on Saturday. So the way we work, we go see money. We say, if you work today, you collect the money, you will come tomorrow, say, we no get money. So then they help us save the money.
For Doyisola, frequent involvement of people in environmental concerns in their community remains a veritable means of controlling plastic pollution. She believes it can never be too much to reach out to people and educate them about the environment.
Well done, Doyin, and she has been very consistent. And experts have said if care is not taken, we will end up with more plastics in the oceans than fisheries, and that's really scary. So as we mark World Environment Day tomorrow with the theme, Beat Plastic Solution, Beat plastic pollution by creating solutions, what Doyin is doing is a step in the right direction. Another step in the right direction is our commercials. We'll take them and we'll be right back.
Where is Glory?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Glow! Oh, where Glow now?
I dare you.
Glow, don't go village. Tell our customer.
Everybody pay attention. See, now Glow berekete 10x. Now in they dash me 10 times the credits when I load. Or even summer me double data join.
Yes. Wait, so with 1.5 when they give all of us, so you they enjoy up to 15,000 naira credit and data.
And I say I never finish you. See now say we enjoy if una join Glow berekete 10x. Una go get 1,000 naira welcome credit. You just carry your phone, dial *777#. Finish.
Correct.
Glow, you don't win. You don't do. Una see they here. Hello, please, I'm looking for Glow. Please save now Glow be they fine. Now Glow be they go. Okay, so
enjoy 10 times the value of your recharge on Glow Berekete 10X. You also get 1,000 naira for calls and data and double data bonus on your subscription.
My skin is my identity, my strength. It's unique and deserves care made specially for me. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Advanced Care with 5 oils and 5 vitamins. 48-hour nourishment. Helps reduce appearance of stretch marks in just 2 weeks. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Advanced Care for your shade of beautiful.
This blessing be yours forever to keep a calm and peaceful sleep.
Removes mosquitoes so you can sleep a calm and peaceful sleep. Good night, Electric.
Looking fresh for your date? Get even fresher with Close Up. New Close Up Triple Fresh formula. It cleans deeply, fights 99% of bacteria, and cools intensely, keeping you protected and fresh.
Protected and fresh. Protected and fresh.
Let's take a picture.
Protected and fresh.
Still fresh, still protected.
Feeling cool and protected.
All day confidence to get close.
Oh yeah, take it close up, short to close.
New Close Up Triple Fresh formula.
You and your hair go through a lot. The heat, rain, chaos. It's a non-stop war against total breakdown. But just like you, your hair can stay strong no matter what. Mega Growth Break Free Daily Leave-In Strengthener for all hair types is infused with a unique blend of natural oils and conditioning proteins that helps protect your hair. Mega Growth Break Free, your daily defense against breakage.
All I do is win. I wake up, I win. I close my eyes, and I win.
We got a emergency, girlfriend.
Keep up with me, come on, let's all keep winning till the world stops spinning. Independent women, come on, now let's get it. I'ma keep winning till the world stops.
Wow, you look great. Did you just come from the salon?
Darling Superstar, braids that stay salon fresh no matter what.
Welcome back. The multi-billion-dollar dairy production plant at Damau in Kubai local government area of Kaduna State has kicked off production. Tina Toro reports that the project is a partnership between Ala Dairy Production Company, makers of Dano Milk, and the Kaduna State government.
The Ala Dairy Production Plant occupies 400 hectares of the 9,000 hectares of the Demo Forest Reserve in Kubwa local government area of Kaduna State. The plant has the capacity to cater for over 400 cows, but currently holds about 260 cows, and it is expected to produce over 5 million liters of milk daily and process over 5 million kilograms of meat yearly.
Our sincere hope that the success of this initiative will be replicated across the country. Clearly, there is a lot of potential in the Nigerian agriculture sector. And
we've got that knowledge and expertise that we can bring. The Ala farmers are the most efficient carbon footprint anywhere in the world.
To bring to an end farmers' headers clashes, the Kaduna State government is partnering with Ala to train over 1,000 headers on modern ranching techniques, as well as boost dairy production in the state and ensure value chain addition.
To stay in one place where there is pasture, water, vet clinics, experts like Allah to guide them, collect their milk, and give them value. Along the way, their children will be educated.
Emir of Zazzau, Ambassador Amanuhu Bamali, is optimistic that the ripple effect of the state-of-the-art facility will transcend beyond the borders of Kaduna State. There was a tree planting session aimed at fighting deforestation.
Great dairy initiative there. Oando Clean Energy Limited has broken a new ground in the development of clean energy solutions and infrastructure. The company has become the first to birth 100% electric mass transit buses in Nigeria. The initiative, which is a public-private partnership with the Lagos State government, has been launched in Lagos. Adeola Komiakere reports.
This is a typical scenario that characterizes everyday living. And unknown to many, there are health hazards associated with carbon emissions, in addition to extremely dangerous effects on ecosystems. In a cosmopolitan city like Lagos, for example, thousands of vehicles emit harmful gases into the atmosphere with adverse consequences that hamper actions to tackle challenges posed by climate crisis.
Echo is echo. You have come to the right terminal. This is the first boarding call on the road to net zero. You have a first-class seat with the future in view.
Clean green energy solutions are the future. And with the acquisition of these two new electric buses, the collaboration between Oando Clean Energy Limited and the Lagos State government ensures eco-friendly approach is adopted.
Transport is the number one contributor to greenhouse gases. So if we're able to take out that contribution to greenhouse gases, we know that we're well on our way to our promise to the world for the country in 2060 and certainly for the state in 2050.
We would experiment with it and we will go around. We need to understand the consumption of these buses. So for example, on the BLT corridor, we'll be running from Ikorodu all the way to CMS.
It is the first in the area of mass transit in Nigeria, which will help Lamata to transit from combustion-powered engine to a cleaner and electric system.
This is another step in pursuing the vision of Lagos, a cleaner Lagos. The directive of Mr. Governor is that we explore various options to ensure that we provide adequate, efficient, functional public transportation for the people of Lagos.
For Antonia Olabode, operating the electric bus is a whole new experience. Same for the first set of passengers who were part of the inaugural ride.
Very, very easy and convenient to drive, convenient and comfortable to drive.
We are beginning to go the right way in terms of clean energy for transportation.
Cool air conditioning with Wi-Fi there, spacious,
had all the facilities that you would expect from a high-capacity bus running in Lagos.
Introduction of the electric mass transit buses is a crucial part of the zero carbon emissions target of 2050, as Oando Clean Energy has plans to increase the number nationwide, powering mobility and empowering Nigeria.
Eco-friendly indeed. The African Union of Broadcasting Summit, organized for executives of public broadcast industry in Africa, may have come and gone, but the impact made our memories to be cherished for a lifetime. Omenka Amarachuku reports on side attractions during the event.
At first sight, one would conclude that this is an exhibition. Well, you just may be right. It is an exhibition of some sort by the media executives of the public broadcast industries in Africa.
We are here to exhibit the African Union of Broadcasting. We are very, 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 very concerned and dedicated to changing the African narrative. The African narrative. What do people report about Africa? Most foreign media report negative stuff about Africa, but we are here to change that narrative. Africa has very good things to report about.
We are signal distributors to promote what we have on ground, how we can actually cover, let me say the whole Africa too, because we are on satellite, we can actually cover the whole, our footprint cover the whole Africa as well. So the exhibition is quite okay. You have MTN, you have the likes of NTA as well. You have other people around. In fact, Radio Russia is here as well. So it's a good exhibition. It's a good one.
The conference has been very commendable in terms of the agenda, in terms of the input from the various different countries. We're very happy with the agenda, especially about the focus on the digital skills that people will have to acquire in terms of the future of Africa. And I think it's very important that all the relevant broadcasters have come together and addressing this issue and looking at the future plans of how we can take the media landscape in Africa forward.
This show is about exploring ways of boosting digital broadcasting to drive content. The beautiful thing about this event is that beyond interaction and brainstorming, there were other activities.
Way to go. The Shehus Band, popularly known as Kunguru in Kanuri, is as old as the El Kanemi dynasty. It is a means of entertainment often used during festivities to symbolize the monarch has retired for the day. Kaigama Mustafa in this special package takes a look at how the royal band came into existence and subsequently became one of the musical instruments of the palace.
Kanem-Borno Empire is considered one of the largest empires in the world that covers part of Chad, Niger, and Republic of Cameroon, and majority of the people speak Kanuri dialect. Despite their political differences and locations, their musical instruments are similar as well as mode of dressing among others. The headquarters of the Kanem-Borno Empire is located in Maiduguri, where the Shehu is considered the leader of the empire. The Shehu has his personal musical instrument called Kunguru in Kanuri, which came into existence way back in 1820 by a personality known as Harid. Harid was a small boy brought up under the care of Shehu Umar ibn Muhammad Al-Amin al-Kanemi in 1820, who succeeded his late father Muhammad Al-Amin al-Kanemi. Harid was playing the instrument for his personal consumption and was later domesticated by the then Shehu Umar ibn Muhammad Al-Amin al-Kanemi as part of the dynasty.
The Kunguru contains a lot of history. It reminds us of previous events. It reminds us of contemporary events. Sometimes it reminds the Shehus of how their ancestors ruled Borno.
The band has 13 different tracks, and each of the track has its unique name and meaning, with different interpretations designated to certain events. These musical instruments are usually played during events and ceremonies to include Friday congregational prayers, Salah festivities, and when receiving important dignitaries at the palace to the admiration of guests, as well as when the shehu is going to sleep by 9 o'clock in the evening.
Kanuri gima awadi ya putu tinzuro gainde.
Kanuri and non-Kanuri ethnic groups are enjoying Kunguru music.
Kunguru has 13 different tracks. All the Kunguru tracks are being played for the show, and it is making him feel happy. I inherited this tradition from my forefathers before my subsequent employment by the Emirate as a full-fledged drummer for the show. Each sound the drum makes conveys a meaning, saying they are all under our rule.
One unique feature about the Kunguru is that an ordinary person does not just bathe it, rather it is inherited from their forefathers.
We have a rich cultural heritage and a lot to show the world. To another culture, the Nzemberom Cultural Festival is one of the rich festivals on the plateau due to its uniqueness and how it attracts people from far and near. Let's hear from Ruth Stephen Hoke, who covered this year's festival in Jos.
Gathered here are prominent sons and daughters of the Birom nation for the celebration of its unique annual Nzemberom festival, which showcases the rich culture of the people. Senator Philip Aduda and Governor Simon Bakolalong represented say, apart from showcasing the rich cultural heritage of the Birom people, the gathering is also meant to unify them towards meaningful development.
The different efforts, concerted efforts to preserve our rich cultural heritage. Bauchi and Plateau, they are one. We will do peer review mechanism where we are going to use small resources and do a lot of work. We are going to start a new journey to secure Plateau, a journey to unite Plateau.
Ongbon Jos, Da Jacob Gianguba, who commended the celebrants, noted that most farming communities are affected by insecurity and appeals to the appropriate authorities to ensure that peace is restored on the plateau.
The Birom are not living in isolation. We have our neighbors, we have the other tribes on the Plateau state, and it is our desire to work together to unify the people.
The event featured cultural dances, exhibition of rich cultural cuisines and other side attractions from the land. Messages came from prominent personalities as some sons of the soil were honored with titles for their contribution to the progress of the land.
Traces the growth of the Birom economy in such a way of becoming active players in the Nigerian economy.
The Nzemberom magazine, The Voice, was also unveiled to bring the event to a close.
Development Association.
Spectacular event. Time to pay some bills. We'll be back soon.
You have to move from the point where you protect and defend your religion
to a point where you also recognize the rights of the other person, of the other religion, and protect it. So if I am protecting my own territory and my own people and trying to emphasize their rights and protect their rights, I should also be thinking about how to protect the rights of the others.
Both Islam and Christianity recognize and defer to God, and both recognize the temporariness of the life of this world, and that ultimately we all go back to God for the day of reckoning, when everybody will render an account of his life on this temporary abode.
Stop! No need to step out. Presenting the Good Night Power Shots. Spray 2 shots in each corner of the room. It kills mosquitoes inside without driving family outside. Good Night Power Shots. Spray inside, stay inside.
I am my roots. From the time of my birth, I started soaking in the essence of my people. Our values, our way of life.
My culture is me. It is the poetry in my Ikwo.
My roots are sacred, like the beauty that is in the Etigi, the call of the talking drum. I am many things to my people, but my roots stay the same. I am what came before, and I am what comes next. I am deeply rooted. Origin, my roots, my power.
Our boss was like, a decent fashion designer only gets home at midnight. Midway.
Man like Osime, Papa just the chop Italian league like Oha.
These are real housewives of Abuja. Those women are fire. What does OJ say again? My relationship with money is Alhamdulillah.
Because they wear uniform, you want to treat people anyhow. Imagine this officer, I will clear out one lie. Don't cost. Bruh, come on there. Things no matter. The biggest dragon for Westeros, now small picking face am, climb am, ride am like Formula 1. Yeah, catch me.
He found the gold and asked her for just shaking me piece of the pie, and she killed him for it.
Obini, fair women, no.
No one tells a story like we do. Showmax, Africa's original streaming service.
Thanks for being there. Now we're starting this segment with something women take seriously. Have you ever thought of reasons why most women prefer wearing wigs rather than going on woven hairdos? Well, if you've not had this thought, relax. Let's join Evelyn Ikpo, who went to town to interact with some wig dealers and users. Her findings may just interest you.
Wigs are some of the hair accessories that add beauty and elegance to a lady's appearance and boost the confidence level of the wearer. Wearing wigs can also be an element of self-expression, thus allowing for a change of one's look, which oftentimes make one look classy and elegant. Fashionistas say, beyond enhancing beauty, wearing of wigs is an excellent way of protecting one's natural hair from daily damage from heat or harsh chemical products. But what is it about wigs and fashion?
Making of this braiding and other stuff, it consumes a lot of time. But you can actually make your wig, keep it in your house. Any day you're going out, you just cover it, you still look beautiful.
If you're having something like emergency, you can wear your wig and go. And it's very okay with him. That.
Sometimes if I don't have money to make my hair, I can put on any of my wig. And sometimes if I don't feel like maybe putting on hair, I can putting on braided hair, I can put on wig.
I have like more than 10, and then instead of wasting money, when I compare the both together, like attachment is 1.7. So if I have like 3 to make in one hair, if I keep those monies and I get one human hair, it can last me for 5 years.
I make wigs, that's my job, and it moves very well because it's stress-free, it's affordable to wear.
However, others argue that wigs give flexibility to the owners and are very easy to wear and remove at will.
When you travel now, you don't have your personal hairstylist to make your hair. At least you could go for that because it's not everyone that you're comfortable with making your hair.
The weather now, when you're hot, you feel hot, you just remove it. When you're going out to wear it, it's less stressful.
There's another school of thought that do not believe in the wearing of wigs. Why?
That is personal because different churches have different doctrines and different instructions to women using wig and using all sort of things.
They are very cosmetic. They are neither here nor there. I think what people should focus on is their relationship with God.
Here in this church, we cover our hair. As a woman, you cover your hair. If you like, wear umbrella.
Well, I think it's a choice. And the thing about wigs is that for women with wigs, you can have 7 different looks in one wig. And for us, that's cool. Now, with the pace at which technological innovation is contesting relevance with man, the world is almost becoming a place where everything is possible. The advent of the new media is pushing man's oldest news companion, the newspaper, to the edge, and this has continued to generate discourse on whether it can survive the next decade's likely fierce competition. Michael Olaleye examines the implication in our next report.
Since Gutenberg's discovery changed the spectrum of printing in 1440, this machine has become an indispensable tool for satisfying man's unquenchable thirst for news. The passage of time has led to many discoveries, with technology now dictating how the news is served and where. In the face of this changing trend, I seek to inquire if the newspaper still maintains its iconic place of pride like it was a few years ago. I met with Joseph Solomon, a commercial bus driver who could vividly remember reading a newspaper 2 weeks ago.
Everything that they need are in Google. Once they search it, they can be able to see it online. So there is no need of them buying a newspaper.
Alexandra Lakunle's view tends to be different, as his addiction to the tabloid means he must buy one every day.
There are some particular interests. There are some things you will see in the newspaper which you will not see in the phone.
Although most Nigerian newspapers are embracing the digital trend by registering their presence online, some believe the eroding reading culture tends to play a role in the decline.
There's something we call tomorrow news today. It's happening now. Tomorrow news, something you are expecting tomorrow, you already see it today. That is the new technology.
Practitioners in the industry say, though patronage may be low, but the place of credibility and unsubstituted services rendered by the newspapers place them at vantage position to be relevant beyond the next decade.
You find people having to do change of name and they want to go get the paper and keep it as a document.
The issue with our procurement practice, you are still required probably as an agency of government to still advertise most of those bidding and so on. A lot of people will still like to see their pictures boldly published in the paper.
The consensus going forward is that professionalism is the watchword and the mandate of maintaining relevance beyond the next decade. And key players are of the view that this can be better entrenched by harnessing the opportunities inherent in investigative journalism.
The truth is that the new media is giving the traditional media a run for its money. But the crucial part is where you get credibility and issues are followed up with ethics. Very important. Now, following a viral video of an alleged snake bite initiation of pupils and students of some primary and secondary schools in Asaba Delta State, Godfrey Nzekwe visited some of the schools to get facts behind the story.
Moral decadence, especially in the younger generation, is the bane of our society today. That is why when a child is dancing naked in public, everybody begins to ask questions. And so it was when the video on snake bite initiation in some schools in Asaba was uploaded in the internet. It became a serious concern for parents and management of schools in Asaba. However, a random check on some students of primary and secondary schools by NTA news crew did not show such mark as seen in the viral video on the students' hands.
Do you have marks on your hands? No! I trust my children.
I don't know anything about snake bite courts. It only came to my knowledge when the school authority came into my class and was like, do you know anything about snake bite? And I was like, I don't know anything. And they were checking people's hands, and unfortunately nobody was found with the snake bite court in my class.
I don't know about it until I started hearing the rumor of it. They check some people's arms and neck whether they have the mark on them.
Chinwe Chilaka is the vice principal administration of a secondary school.
The fact that you're linking something like this to a child of 5, 6, 7 years in primary school, there is need for them to be enlightened. It is time we get serious with our children. I can't understand why a child will come home and people don't get to notice what's on their children's body.
When you give birth to a child, from infant, you should try to understand the child from a very tender age up to when you're at least 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. You should at least understand your child, what he or she can do.
When NTA News crew visited the office of the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, a statement signed by the ministry said the perpetrators of the negative act will be fished out and dealt with accordingly.
Beyond the fact that we have asked the supervisory ministries to up their ante, we are also saying that any school where certain is found to be in existence, the authorities in that school will have to answer. And it could go to as much as closing down of such schools.
Meanwhile, parents are enjoined to discipline and monitor the affairs of their children.
Well, some viral videos that we've seen, sometimes when you investigate, may not really be what they put out there, but it's also important for them, for issues like that to be followed up on. Better safe than sorry. Now imagine going into the restroom and being greeted by the sight of a snake. I can imagine your instant reaction. I know the first thing you will do will be to likely run for your dear life. Yes, creepy indeed. Avoiding such dangerous and traumatic situation is the first step towards safety. You don't have to wait for that snake to get into your toilet before you begin to look for ways of getting rid of it. Hingino John Adams will share some tips on ways to keep snakes away from our houses.
It was a normal Saturday morning for my colleague, Olumide Guntola. Nature came beckoning and he rushed to the convenience to respond to the call. But to his shock, he saw something in the WC which caught his attention.
That was not the first time, that was not the second time, probably the third time. So I would just go there and flush the thing and it will go. So but this time around I was angry that who could be this person that is always coming to mess up this toilet. So I now reported the matter to my neighbors, and after reporting, like after 1 or 2 or 3 of them, the third person came and he came and identified that black roundish curve thing inside the WC to be a cobra.
Olumide counts that day one of his luckiest and will forever remain grateful to God for his divine protection. Unlike him, some are not lucky to tell their own story because their lives were cut short by venom from snake bites. Experts say cases of snakes finding their way into toilets are common during the dry season, particularly when the weather is extremely hot. So, What should one do if they find a snake in their toilet?
And you just give it some space, it will move away. A snake will never attack a person. It will only be defensive. So if it's really scared of the person, then it will react out of fear. And that's when people get bitten. So, and if you're not sure what to do, it's best to go and get someone that can help you.
Many people generally despise the sight of snakes. So, it is important to ensure that the environment does not harbor them.
Remember, these snakes didn't come to our homes. We built our homes in their home. So they are continually looking for how to adapt. Now, if you look at most sewer systems, they are breeding places for rats. The rats use them, and this is the food for the snakes. So the snakes go into the soakaways to look for food, rats. And snakes, by default, they love dark places because it's safe. So when they enter into our soakaways, it's dark. And then they see a dark hole. It's safe. They just got a meal. They want to stay somewhere to digest the meal or something. They go into the hole. Unfortunately, that is your pipe. And then they follow the hole up, and then they find themselves in the toilet. Now they are disoriented, they are confused. And then somebody comes and sits on the toilet. They think the person wants to kill them. So what snakes do when they bite human is what we call first attack. They are very vulnerable, they are easy to kill. So they do that first attack so that they will not be killed. So when the snake is at the WC and then it's trying to come out, trying to look for a way out, and you just come and you sit on it, it thinks you want to kill it.
It is also important to imbibe this little additional tip: a quick safety check before you use the toilet to avoid sad stories, particularly if you reside in a reptile-prone environment.
That last part, the advice is very important, and I know they say there are some snakes that don't have venom that are safe, okay, but you know we don't know the difference, so cannot blame us if we are scared and want to kill the snake. Now let's take our last round of commercials. Newsline, we'll be right back.
Nigeria means unity.
Nigeria means freedom to me.
Nigeria means greatness to me.
Nigeria is indivisible. There is nothing you can do. We all have to savage it together and learn to love each other. We are indivisible.
As a mother and a leader, I will always preach for peace and unity in this country, because that is the only thing that will give us progress.
Though tribes and tongues may differ, in brotherhood we stand, and it is the woman that does that.
How did I get here? It all started shortly after I graduated from MSTC, the Model Skills Training Center, with a certificate in ICT. I successfully developed a data management program that has been called the software of the future. Thanks to its success, everyone wants it. And as you can see, now everyone wants me. But I'm not alone. The skills training programs at MSTC are equipping young Nigerians to become the next big success story. Whether it's ICT, mechatronics, facility technology, electronics and computer networking, or culinary studies, a certificate at MSTC is the way of the future. And just like me, there he is. Everyone will want you to.
ITF, developing the nation's human resource.
They have come.
Once Obafemi performs the rite, it means that he has been accepted as heir. I need an answer from the gods.
Darkness is coming. Blood is coming. Defender of the stone throne. The warrior who will defeat those no man has defeated. Your destiny is tied to her own and to this land.
Since that time, people reduced us to nothing. And Moremi fell in love with their son.
She can rot in Gallo.
Stop telling the lie. Stop telling the lie.
welcome back. Ubuluku community in Aniocha South local government area of Delta State has celebrated the life of Chief Alfred Modi, who was in the league of its most honorable men with a prestigious title, with a prestigious Allure title. This octogenarian left behind testimonies of honesty, hard work, and fairness. He was the father of a retired zonal director of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Benny Modi. Ifoma Okafor was at the burial ceremony.
A requiem mass was offered for the late Chief Alfred Modi at St. Charles Catholic Church, Ubuluku. The officiating priest, Reverend Father Victor Ofili, described Chief Alfred Modi as a man of faith who lived an exemplary life.
Whatever way you live your life today, your children will repeat.
From the church, the deceased was taken to his residence. Some of his children, including the former zonal director of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Benny Modi, said the legacy of peace, honesty, and development left behind by their late father will be emulated.
My father was an embodiment of peace. He was humble, honest. My father will not tell you what you want to hear. He will tell you what it is, without mincing words. He's a friend to all, but very, 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 very strict.
I'll actually miss my dad, his humane nature, his kind-heartedness, his patience.
Fearless, courageous, and a truthful man.
He's a courageous man. He's a fearless man. He likes helping people.
He was fun. He was kind. He was extremely giving.
I love him a lot and I really miss him so much.
Earlier, an order of vigil mass was held for the deceased. Former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Anyem Pius Anyem, Secretary to the Delta State Government, Patrick Oka, former Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, and the General Manager, NTA Asaba, Phil Obano, in their messages described the late Chief Alfred Modi as a distinguished leader and a consummate politician. Chief Alfred Okolie Modi was a PDP party leader of Aniocha South local government area and a board member of the University of Delta, Abo.
He's there, so rest in peace. Amen. That's Newsline this Sunday. Thanks for watching. Join us again Sunday next week. Good night and God bless Nigeria.
Nation is power. Everyone